Speaking of upcoming games, we've been talking about Final Fantasy VI. That one, you're only going to have one more game to donate for. We're currently up to almost $19,000. Actually, we're over $19,000 now for Final Fantasy VI. That would be coming up after Devil May Cry 5. Still got a long way to go. We're at 19K. We got to get to $100,000 to do that, and some of these donations that are coming in would definitely be helping towards that. We have from Rabram39 a $1,500 donation. Says, I've seen so many GDQs and I am still impressed by the performance of each speedrunner. Keep up the good work. Thanks for all the great times and to all the different restreams that allow us to understand what is happening. Thank you very much for that generous donation. All right, I'm getting word that we are ready for Devil May Cry 5. Here is DECosmic.
Woo! So, hello, first of all. My name is DECosmic, or just Cosmic, and I run DMC. And if there's any way to describe this run, I would say it's tricky. So...
I'm not.
All right, so if my couch would like to introduce themselves.
I'm Waifu.
My name is Vash.
I'm maxilobes.
And then I have my good friend B-Mal here. He's coming with me from Delaware. We've known each other almost a decade. We've traveled to fighting game tournaments together, and now we're here at AGDQ. He's coming to support me.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Emotional support.
Yeah. It's great.
With it.
Yeah. All right, so whenever we're ready for time, then. So 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
All right.
Devil May Cry.
Devil May Cry.
We're in there.
So Devil May Cry, we're going to start here with the prologue. It's going to take place, I guess, before, well, like it starts out Nero, this first character that we're going to experience here, he's gotten his arm taken off by the Demon King Urizen. And now we're here with this other character, this guy right here that's kind of trailing behind me. His name's V. We're going to learn more about him later. But Nero's motorcycle sword, or the Red Queen, I have to rev it each time in order to get more attack speed and more damage. So that's like a 6 or 7 frame window that I gotta hit consistently during all of my combos. And we're gonna try and go and defeat the Demon King, except maybe not, we'll see. Yes. And so the first thing we're gonna see here is the red orbs, and I have to get enough red orbs to buy moves and consumables later on in order to clear some of the missions fast.
So for those who are a little unclear about what he talks about, a 6 or 7 frame window, you can rev the Red Queen normally, but every time you attack, that gives Nero an opportunity to press his exceed button, basically, or Cosmic does. He presses it at the right time, then he gets that charge. And you can also do it when he surfs on it. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, the surfing is the taunt, I believe.
Yeah, the air
taunt
taunt
in the air.
Pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, the air taunts in this game are actually pretty useful. Nero's allows him to exceed and builds a little bit of style. Dante like throws a rose, and then V actually like does a nice little like rock star pose. It's pretty neat. Oh, by the way, here's Dante. So we're gonna jump to the left, shoot twice, and then taunt, and he's gonna give us the fireball, hopefully. Don't make a liar out of me, thank you.
This is the Demon King Urizen, by the way. This is the guy that just gripped Nero's arm.
Yeah, and this is actually a force fail fight. The faster you die here, the better, because you can technically beat it. You get a secret special ending if you do, but it takes forever and it's really long, and that's not the correct category. That
We're not here for that. We're trying to see the game.
Imagine if you just did.
just do prologue because they're really fast.
Yeah, exactly. No, we're not here for that. We're here to see the entire journey. So that's going to be the end of prologue. Couple quick fights, die, you know, it's a good time.
It's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. It's
Another
Thursday,
one.
Vash.
Man, not in him, no.
Fair enough, yeah.
Not for him.
So this next mission, we're going to get to introduce to Nero's new arms, his mechanical arms, the Devil Breakers. Vash, if you want to take it on that.
Yeah, so as you can see there, he's reloading his revolver with something. You know, he did lose his arm, but his mechanic, Nico, actually makes disposable weapons that he can attach onto that little stump. And the first one you get is called Overture. It's basically just a force push palm, deals a lot of damage, but as we're gonna see in an upcoming fight in a little bit, Nero can also use these arms, charge them up, and use a special attack with them that breaks the arms. So, you know, you see a full magazine of overtures right there. These weapons are meant to be disposable, and that is what makes Nero so powerful, as we're about to see. So this is technically the first boss that Cosmic is actually supposed to kill. I don't even know if you really call it a boss, but, you know.
It's a little mini boss.
You know, it counts, it counts.
Yeah.
We in the tutorial. So he's going to drop all those overtures off. One more. And that's unfortunate.
That's very
So,
unfortunate.
Yeah.
Oh.
that leads us into a discussion about the style ratings and about how no damage in the economy works. So this game does its best to reward you playing it well. Playing it well just means like having high hits in your combo, a lot of variety to your actions, and most importantly, not taking damage, at least for the early phases of the run. So all these score multipliers you see, that feeds into the red orbs that Cosmic found earlier. With that, you can buy special abilities. You can buy those disposable devil breakers that he used. And a lot of the early routing, especially for one of the early skips that we are going to talk about, Circa Mission 3, sort of depends on Cosmic not taking damage for the first couple of missions.
Yeah, well, we
So,
kind of,
you know, we're freestyling out here.
yeah, we're going with it. I got some backups I can bust out. Hopefully we can still get it going.
Deluxe edition.
Deluxe edition, yeah.
Wasn't going to say anything.
Shout outs to GPO1.
Ooh, that wouldn't be good.
No.
I mean, it would, but...
So getting into mission 2 here, I'm not going to equip any devil breakers because I'm just going to find them throughout the level. The drops in New Game are actually static, so we're able to route around how the devil breakers are laid throughout the mission. We're just going to come up on some more impulses here.
Yeah, and it's important that he doesn't mess up the order of which he has them because he can't switch them manually. The only way to switch breakers is to break it.
That's the one I was showing people in the hotel room this game. That's the one question everybody had. Can I swap them without breaking them?
Nope.
No. That's unfortunate. So a lot of this run is really based around having the most efficient way of dealing with the base demons as possible. So that's why you don't really see Cosmic doing a lot of like varied or just unorthodox ways of trying to kill the Impusas. It's quicker to just get them on top of you and slash away at them with the EX attacks.
All right, so...
Are you really, you doing this to me? Cosmic?
Yeah, I was going to try
He
for
tried it. You
We
can
tried
do
for it.
that. You can
do,
do
yeah,
that.
there's an orb cache there, but we'll try and get the other one.
Can be out
here.
here.
Time.
Oh.
This game has a lot of really floaty aerial movement and a lot of options in the air, so you can actually like almost fly indefinitely, not quite. If you have an enemy, you pretty much can fly indefinitely, and that is useful for like a lot of skips and like just interesting movement stuff.
Yeah. And talking more about how this game sort of tries to value skilled play, if you sort of saw in that fight, there was, and still on screen, there's like a grade. It goes through D through triple S. And as you hit demons, that style meter is going to increase, and as it fills, you go up grades. As you go up grades, it starts to take like new actions or new attacks that you deal, and it feeds it all through that multiplier system that shows up at the end of the mission and gives you your end total red orb count. So we want that as high as possible, and we want to maximize the amount of money that we get. It's all about that shmoney.
Yarn.
Yarn.
So we just picked up a thing called the Nidhogg hatchling. It's kind of like this game's versions of like the rusty keys that you would find in DMC1 or the other key items to open doors. We just place those right in these giant things here and use it to unlock.
Except unlike DMC1, it's nowhere near as spread out where you get the key items and where you got to use them. But you know, we streamline. And right here, Cosmo's going to try to throw that exploder onto that guy, blow them both up.
Nice.
Tried.
Always
Caught on the
pretty.
wall there, you know.
Always pretty.
Always pretty.
We get golf claps out for it, man. This is sick. So that's sort of showing you like a secret mission. There are alternate ways you can like find hidden objectives in missions, but they're very slow and they don't really have a super solid return on investment for time, so we're not going to do any of them during the run.
And here we used to think that we have to dump a Gerbera in this room, but there's two ways that waves are actually managed in this game. And they're by timer and they're by death. And obviously timer no matter what you do, no matter how fast you go, the wave will always come out at a certain time, and by death, it's tied to the death of other enemies, whether or not that's the whole wave or that's just one enemy. Ooh, rip. Okay.
You hate to see it.
I hate to see it indeed.
It pains me to observe it. It's all right, though.
It's all good.
So we're going to be coming up on the first actual boss here in just a little bit, but not before we go through one of the handful of intended quote-for-quote skips for an upcoming fight here. So normally, if you're just playing this game casually, the floor right there is supposed to break underneath Nero, as it's doing right now, which takes you into a fight that introduces a new set of enemies. But we don't want to do that, and we don't have to. So we just fly over it, and now we get to go fight the big boy, Goliath. And
Goliath was shown in a lot of the promo presentations, so everybody here is probably going to recognize him.
I hope so. You should go watch the trailers for this game. Even if you already have it, they're beautifully cut. I'm just sad I can't see him get chucked in the ambulance.
This boss fight has a really cool cycle, especially on human. If he hits his exceeds throughout the whole fight and times his breakers correctly, you can actually kill him before he leaves the church entirely.
Yeah.
He's being very, he's misbehaving a lot.
Yeah. So for any of you who are wondering what Cosmic was talking about when he said he needed to dump a Gerbera in one of those past fights, so by breaking the Gerbera in the same way that you would throw an exploder on a demon, you can shoot basically a shotgun blast of ricocheting laser beams off. And if you're in an enclosed space, all those lasers are hitting demons. Unfortunately, in this case, it was not enough damage in the end to get a church-only fight, because Goliath will take you through set phases. Like now you're just out in the courtyard and he's booling. But
Nice.
there is a way to
Good
kill
fight
him.
still, yeah.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, we're in there.
We're in there.
Definitely. Never leave it.
Yeah,
The
early
exceed,
game.
the exceed shows you how much damage you can actually output in a small amount of time.
Yeah.
It really does help.
Yeah.
So all those 6-7 frame exceeds, he's it's really paying off.
Goliath is really weird because you have to temper your DPS in a way that makes him not want to jump into the church immediately, because if he jumps into the church immediately without doing a couple of swings, I can't actually do the phase skip. So if I technically if I play too well, I don't get the optimal cycle.
Right.
So I was trying to temper DPS a little bit there in order to offset it, but wasn't meant to be, I suppose.
There she is.
There she is.
Best girl right there.
All right, so here we go. We have to go back and grab this thing right here.
So, because Cosmic took damage during that Goliath fight, that lost him his no damage multiplier for the entirety of Mission 2's End Red Orb count. And that's going to come and impact the skip that we were talking about. Actually, Cosmic, I didn't see. Did you get Air Hike? Did you manage?
No, I didn't. I couldn't afford it, no.
Oh.
Early game's going to be a little bit rough, orb count-wise, but we'll pull it back.
We're still in a good tax bracket. I believe in you.
I feel you.
So, this mission showcases one of the only out-of-bounds tricks that we actually use to scale through an entire level in the game.
It's actually one of the only other bounds in any Devil May Cry game too, I think. It might be the only one.
Unless we're talking unpatched, the reboot.
Yeah, unpatched reboot.
And we're not.
And we're not.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
And then on console, there's a lot of more skips with Dante, but
That's also that illegal build. That's unpatched. But at this point, we've also introduced, so the entire time when you're going through these early missions, the game is introducing new demons to you to try and vary up fights. So, we didn't see the cutscene that introduced them, but, there are bat demons that are flying around. They shoot fireballs at you if they feel like it. We're on human. That's the easiest available difficulty at the start, which means that enemy health is low, enemy damage is low, and enemy aggression, it mainlines Lunesta.
there's the clip out, by the
yeah,
way.
right
Yeah, it's
there.
a clip. First try, too. And now we're walking on water.
So he's doing a helm breaker
Yeah.
against that wall in order to
Pushes
kinda-
him out of bounds.
Yeah, it pushes him out of bounds.
Yeah.
And now he's going to ride his missile arm.
Yeah, dude. It's the dream. This game is sick.
And this was found very early on, surprisingly enough, and it was toyed with quite a bit until you know, until what you're watching is the result.
So we actually called this university skip, and this is one of the only chances you actually get to see it because the skybox, it's just a university. If Cosmic gets a chance to pan back the camera, I don't think he's going to be able to.
Not going to be able to, probably.
There's literally a pool that's just down there at the bottom. The
Yeah.
skybox, I think they just took it off Google Image. I have no idea. It's nice, though.
And we're back in bounds.
We skipped so many forced fights there,
Yep.
it's nuts. And now...
Clap for that one. It's not an easy skip.
No. And now, we skipped another cutscene that introduces a whole new demon, the Death Scissors.
I think Maxie knows a thing or two about these guys.
Oh yeah. When I played this for the first time, I was like, oh, I just have to double jump and Helmbreaker, right?
Yes.
No.
The Strat. So, that actually introduces a mechanic in this game called parrying, which we'll talk about in a little bit. This will probably make another appearance, but right now we're coming up on our next actual boss fight, which is more of an airborne enemy called Artemis. And it's going to be very hinging on using, once again, Nero's Devil Breakers to use their full-powered attack and just try to prevent the boss from playing the game. They don't get to put hands on the controller.
But this time it's going to be using Punchline to try to stomp him down and keep him in the same spot.
So this is one of the only instances of like heavy RNG at the start of a fight, and it looks like it's being nice to Cosmic.
I think she's being pretty nice, yeah. We might get this. That really melted that. What the heck, man?
Got him.
Yep.
So that punch down is just straight. She just hits the deck, and it takes her a long time to recover.
Nice.
And
She's
it's
down.
Dundee.
Great fight.
Beautiful.
Really good. She can actually give you 3 different attacks at the start of that fight, and I guess she didn't know she was on GDQ. She gave me the best attack.
Hey. She wanted to help you, man.
For once.
We're all family. So
She saw what Goliath was up to.
we talked about him a little bit earlier, but now we actually get to swap characters here. So we were playing as Nero, now we're playing as V, or as my lovely girlfriend likes to call him, Chris Angel.
Or Kylo Ren.
Or Kylo Ren, or Adam Driver.
Or the Edgar Allan Poe of anime.
Yeah. The man got the, he's got the Mandel's drip. There's no other way to put it, but it's a good time.
It is.
So Cosmic's buying purple orbs here, something that Nero couldn't get, I don't think, and that feeds into the magic meter, Devil Trigger. So V varies from Nero, whereas like Nero's power is mainly in his Devil Breakers for wave clear. V fights with summon pets. So he has Griffin, which is a flying demon that will like attack from afar as it's doing now, and Shadow, which is a cat that just runs in the mix and basically functions like a melee attack would for any other character. But V gets to play too because he has to be the one to execute the demons.
And if you played DMC1, you probably recognize these 2 as bosses from that game as well.
Yep.
You're playing, dude.
I am playing, dude.
So this game also has like sort of a faux co-op feature called Cameo? It's the
Cameo system, yeah.
Here comes the skip, by the way.
Oh yeah, we also got another potential skip.
This is like
for
brand
Cosmic
new.
This was found like 72 hours ago. It's incredible. So what Cosmic's going to try to do is he's going to try to use Griffin holding V in the air to get like just one part of V's toe to go through the fence.
Yep.
Cutscene trigger on the other side. Skip to fight.
And also, I believe because Nightmare is up where he...
Yeah, Nightmare's up there. You can see him. He's up there, yep.
He's chilling.
Yeah. So, no enemies spawning down here.
But it's
Which is
actually,
nice.
yeah, it's a bit remarkable, this game, because as you saw with University Skip, which thankfully didn't have to showcase, Cosmic could have messed that whole skip up, fallen through the floor, and it would have just put him back somewhere still out of bounds, but like the last place his feet were on the ground. And he can do this sequence break without messing anything up. So you can do a lot of these, you know, sequence break type things without really having to worry about the game breaking or you not being able to get into the next phase.
Yeah, this game is incredibly smart in the way that it's structured. And there's a skip later on that we're actually going to showcase on Mission 9 where
there it is.
Yeah, we're going to go through a fight and the game's going to detect that I'm not there and it's going to just deactivate the fight on its own.
So if you didn't see, that purple meter underneath V's health bar, that's his Devil Trigger meter. So he's able to use that meter to summon Nightmare, which you haven't really seen yet, but he can also use it to power up Shadow and Griffin. But he gets meter back by executing demons, taunting, dodging, and also by reading the manga. So this man's checking out his favorite tags right now.
I mean, the manga is better than the anime.
Definitely,
Always, right?
he's asking. Do you think that's why nobody in the van likes him?
Probably.
You just be like, hey, man, have you read JoJo yet?
So right there, the sick skills.
Yes.
So it's actually quite easy to get those double S and triple S ranks with V because you're kind of just mashing. Like you're not mashing, but you're
mashing.
able
But
to. He's mashing, but you're not. Yeah, you just kind of press the button and V does the thing.
He does.
And in this game, the style ranking system actually scales a bit with damage too. So if you just do like an absolute ton of damage, it'll also give you good style.
Yep.
Even if it's not like very varied attacks.
And I don't think, are there Antenora in this fight?
Yeah, there's Antenora here.
So have we seen them before?
No, they're just
All
like
right.
they just show up because we skipped the pit fight on mission 2.
Yep.
So the gimmick with these demons when they show up, and I guess I'll talk about them a bit more when they're there, but it's the same concept with V as it was for Nero. You'll notice like there is a just most efficient way to dispatch every individual demon type. And that's one of the ways that we actually save time here. And those are the demons that we're seeing for the first time. So the what is it, the Hell Antenora?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
So their gimmick basically is that if they get knocked back or knocked down and they have to recover, they don't accept any more hits done until they get a counterattack off.
Which can be very annoying.
Very annoying, because they're troopers, man. They'll punch you down.
They're tanky.
And now we're coming up on V's first boss fight, Nidhogg.
So here, I'm going to try and force Nightmare to come in with an uppercut, and then he's going to miss the tentacle because he hates me.
It's all right. So Nightmare has a number of like scene entrances, dynamic entries that he can do depending on where V is in the fight and who he's locked onto, I think.
Correct.
So one of the big things that Cosmic is going to want to have happen is he's going to want to save up meter until he can summon Nightmare again and hopefully have an entrance that just clocks all 3 of those snake heads in one go. But so far, he's not...
And that's really useful for this boss fight, but for most individual fights, it's much more effective to use your double trigger on the other 2 pets.
Yes.
Because Nightmare can just be a big derp and do nothing and waste all your DT.
So we got to make sure that we're going to try and do the meteor call here. Hopefully. Okay, we got one.
Oh, one?
Yeah.
All right. So there was a possibility that that AoE would have killed all 3 of them. So it's all right, though. We're booling right now.
This is still a pretty good fight.
Very
all
much
things considered.
Ooh, well, these things happen.
He's being a little bit uncooperative with me today.
It's all right. We're going to have to talk with him after the...
I like how he gets his book out while he gets up. He's just like, oh man, I gotta read this.
Yeah.
I need to feel better. You got the new chapter of One Piece, dude.
And it's not so much been an issue this fight because Nightmare's been kind of uncooperative, but if I'm downing the 3rd tentacle in the fight and Nightmare's out, I have to make sure he's deactivated so I can get 2 bars of DT to optimize it, but wasn't really a big deal there, and that's the fight.
Yes. And you don't really hear it much, but so it's not actually a manga, but V likes poetry. So who is it?
William Blake?
William Blake, thank
William
you,
Blake.
Cosmic. So his
Yeah.
favorite poet's William Blake. He just has a book, and he just reads from it. But when he kills a boss, he'll just quote it verse for verse.
And now we're going to do the single buy that V has.
Yeah,
This
the
minute.
moped.
The kitty
The
scooter.
kitty scooter.
The kitty
The
That's the scientific name, I swear.
So basically the lore is V uses the pets to move around. He doesn't have a double jump. He relies on Griffin. He can't dodge. He uses the cat.
And he's got sandals, so don't expect too much out of him.
He still runs though. He's booking.
He's doing his best.
Look,
Here we go.
don't be fooled by the cane.
Kitty scooter.
Kitty scooter.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is just going to be a couple of pretty, like, not really that special fights. So we got some time for donations, Enigma.
Mr. Enigma.
Sorry, I was getting word from somebody on something over here. By the way, before we get to donations, just want to let you know we're officially 1/4 of the way to Final Fantasy VI. Still have approximately 75,000 $20,000. Before we get to that, you have through the end of the run if you want to see Final Fantasy VI, but let's get to some of these donations here. Speaking of Final Fantasy VI, Mittens the Percolator with a $1,000 donation. Says, gotta donate to the Final Fantasy VI bonus run so all the fans can see it. Love GDQ, love the great runs people put together, and shout out to Winter. Good luck, have fun, and kick cancer's butt. Got another one here from Unknown Drive. $50 says, hey Cosmic, sorry I couldn't be there in person, but it's still a great feeling seeing you there presenting at GDQ, knowing you as long as I have. Remember that if the run doesn't go as you wanted, we are all just happy to see you up on that stage today. So don't stress things and have a great time.
Much
love you, bro.
Drive. Much love.
Quote, remember what we used to say?
Jackpot.
Jackpot.
We got time for some more?
We got time for some more, yeah.
All right, we have $50 from the Guard Flyers who says, yo, Cosmic,
Hey, the
2B
boys.
Power is watching. Good luck on the run, and remember, single credo, single credo.
I was gonna make that joke. I'm so mad. Who sent that? I'm not
guess
talking
all
to
of
you
them.
anymore. I'm not talking
Probably
to you
all of them.
anymore.
We got time for one more.
All right, we have $25 from the Hobo55 who says, as a fellow DMC5 runner, I will say with all my heart that if we didn't have someone like Cosmic running and helping this game grow and get more optimized, we wouldn't have such an active game. I believe that if he didn't make the being part of the community such an enjoyable thing, I would probably not have stopped running this game a long time ago. Thanks for the good times and the great times to come. Good luck on the rest of the run.
Much love, Hobo.
That's wholesome.
Very wholesome.
It's also very true.
Very.
Cosmic has been the staple of the community. He's been pretty much the leader. I was interested in running the game at one point. I was like, you know what, Cosmic? This is your time.
This is my time.
I'm not gonna run this. You're gonna run this. And you're
Why
gonna
would
be
you curse
and you're
me
gonna
like
be
this?
what? No, it's not a curse. It's a blessing.
That's true. Yeah. I love this game.
This game is great.
So the Impusa Queen here we're going to actually get introduced to. And I'm just going to try and stun her as soon as possible. If this were on Devil Hunter, I'd be trying to die to her so I could do like a suicide strat, but it's not the case here. We're just going to blow her up. The boss on this level, the Elder Garian Knight, is a heck of a time. Shadow, why are you not coming here? Come here.
Kitty Scooter.
And you saw earlier I was using the barrel to blow up the different waves. The barrels in this game actually do like self-damage as well as enemy damage. So when I slid out of the way of the barrel with Shadow, I was able to gain DT off of that, or Devil Trigger. So I got a little bit more Devil Trigger to put into the animals as a result of blowing up the barrel in addition to killing the enemy. And we're just going to see that as well here again. So we're just going to dodge back, and then
Nope.
Shadow.
Yeah, he tried.
Okay.
There you go.
Griffin had to pick up the slack there.
Somebody had to. All right, we're in there.
We got time for another couple donations.
Sure. Data sends us a donation of $1,000.
There you go.
Wow.
Who says, don't you dare say it. Jackpot.
Ooh. Went for the body slam.
We have a $50 donation from Tiger and J-Rod who says, look at this guy. He can't even bounce. Proud of you, buddy. Let's rock, baby.
Tiger and J-Rod are a couple of friends back home from Delaware. One of them is B-Mal's brother. So it's a little bit of an inside joke they decided to send my way. It was nice of them. Much love to you, too.
Got time for another one?
Yeah, sure,
yeah.
man. Go for
Alex139 sends a donation of $500.
Oh yeah.
Says, donating during my favorite game of last year. Keep it up, and let's get that Final Fantasy VI incentive.
Thank you so much.
it. Excellent. So who wants to hit the Elder Garian Knight? Who wants to explain that?
So this fight is... It's a bit of a mess.
Horses and Devil May Cry.
He's on a horse. V has a cane. Do the math. He covers a lot of ground very quickly. He doesn't have to stay anywhere if he doesn't want to. A lot of people have speculated that Dante or Nero would have a much easier time with this fight, but realistically, it wouldn't.
I mean, remember Devil May Cry 3?
It wouldn't be more fun, but the important thing is that Griffin is able to keep at least mostly consistent damage per second down on him throughout the most of the fight, even when he's running around, which frees Cosmic up to dodge these little lightning bolts with Shadow to build more meter to keep pumping back into Griffin to just try and maximize that consistent damage per second. And Guryen's gimmick is that he has the ability to control time, or basically activate the world. I mean, stop coming up with JoJo references, but... Oh, also, it's fair to point out that Cosmic dodging around with Shadow is perfectly safe. He can basically just mash it and avoid any and all damage. How did that whiff?
I have no idea,
Oh, my
man.
word. All right.
I guess he's just horsing around, man.
I hate.
See, I got smacked for it. It's fine.
Beam out, do you want the mic?
There we go.
And that was a fairly painless Guryen.
No, not too bad.
That was nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're not done with him yet. He's going to appear at a later date, but the horse is on ice. And that's the end of the V section for now.
Thank
For
you.
now, yeah.
So when you saw in that underground area, there was a lot of, they looked like tentacles or just, I don't know, just weird worms bursting up through the ground. We're actually going to go fight the thing that's attached to. Hold on, we got to make a stop back. Best girl.
So we're going to grab air hike because I wasn't able to grab it earlier, and we're going to grab a second exceed bar.
Yes, and air hike, for those of you who don't know, it's basically just this game's double jump. It would have been bought much earlier, but we didn't have the funds.
Remember, the second exceed bar it makes it so that when he does that exceed and hits it correctly, it fills up more than just one attack's worth. If he does it like super precisely.
Cosmic, did you get max act?
No, I didn't get maxed out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was just so I have access to the level 2 moves for a lot of the abilities, so I'm going to use them for like height gain and approach.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you got max act. Okay.
No, that's a lot of orbs. I do not have the funds for that at all.
So this is Gilgamesh.
Shout outs to Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah, I'm with it. So we have to open up a weak point on the top of the giant enemy crab, which he's busting up the legs right now. And this thing is basically just a walking fortress. It's sort of an unorthodox fight for this game, but you're going to see something pretty... Oh!
All good.
Something unfortunate. So much like we did with the first fight, and we're just going to drop exploders on them and shoot them to set them off for a quick amount of burst damage. But now we're actually going to use the main reusable part of Overture, which is called Battery. The thing about Battery is, it's like I said, just the big force palm. It deals a big chunk of burst damage, but it needs to recharge. So he can't just spam it repeatedly. He has to fill that time with melee attacks. And this is basically Gilgamesh's primary way of defending itself, is just sending spikes up top.
And you really got to read this fight because he can move around and do whatever he wants, really.
Yeah. His main action is just walking. And there is a way right there for Cosmic to stay out of the way when it comes to hit both, but brought him down
Pretty
quickly.
good fight. Yeah, overall.
Solid fight.
Nice fight.
I'm with it.
I was expecting to be like, time for donations if it just kept dragging on. But we can do some more here. Got time for some.
Sure. We have $50 from Crotus, who says, glad to see DMC5 and a GDQ. Good luck with the run, Cosmic.
Thanks, Crotus. Much love, man.
Piano Man JB sends $200
Oh, yeah.
and says, Destiny 2 and Final Fantasy 6 in the same night? Yes, please. Take my money. Love you guys. We have $50 from The Street Rider, who says, shout-outs to DECosmic from Capcom UK. I've been looking forward to this run all day, and that Run DMC t-shirt was an inspired choice. This run already deserves a smokin' sexy speed rank.
Much love.
All right.
Heck yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Street Rider. So the thing that's interesting about this mission in this game is that since you have 3 playable characters, you have some missions where you can get to choose who you go through the mission with. Since we have both access to V and Nero, and at this point in the story they're together, you had the choice to pick. You may think that just given how quickly V was able to just run through whole waves by sending out the different pets that we'd want to use him. But as you'll see, the second breaker that Cosmic has in his magazine, that's called the Devil Buster?
Buster, yeah.
Yeah, the Neo Buster, my bad. It's basically a grab attack, and it just... It erases enemies from the game. It puts them in the recycling bin. So we'll see that in a bit, and it's just a massive power spike for Nero in particular. So every time we have the opportunity to pick a character, we're going for the boy. That's good because he is the best boy.
Yeah.
Easily.
And here we're going to dump an air Gerbera in here to just destroy this room. Basically just clear it out.
And those little bulbs that he was attacking at the beginning, those actually spawn enemies. And you can just go right for those and kill those immediately to stop the waves of enemies from spawning. And in some rooms, you need to do that right away, otherwise it'll fill up with enemies.
We got time for donations here.
Sure. We have a $50 donation from Voodoo Monkey who says, let's get that Final Fantasy VI run met. If met, that will put us at $950,000 by 9 p.m. Eastern. 1 million before midnight. Hype! Hype. And just a reminder to give you an update, we are still approximately $73,000 away from Final Fantasy VI. Just want to remind you, if you've not gotten your donations in for the Prevent Cancer Foundation, that run would be coming up after Devil May Cry 5. So this is the last opportunity you have to donate for Final Fantasy VI. So make sure you get those donations in if you would like to see that. Do we have time for more donations?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, we have $20 from Froob McGuffin, who says,
Hey, Froob.
I want to say my thanks to Cosmic for being an amazing runner. He's pushed the DMC community forward and helped me personally by pushing me on. So thank you. There's a bunch of us sitting in a voice call rooting you on. Good luck on the run, and hopefully you know who in Mission 19 decides to play nice.
Here's hoping, Froob. Much love, man.
The boys are in a call.
They are back in town. Now, as you're sort of seeing when Nero just dunks on him, the big thing to note is that Buster Arm really does just do an immense amount of burst damage, especially on human. So even the Antenor, which are basically the most tanky enemy in the game at this point, I see you, Cosmic.
I saw it.
See you.
Yeah, you
See
saw it.
You
I tried for it.
are giving me a heart attack. All right.
It's fine.
Don't forget the backup.
I got it. Yeah.
One love. So, I was going to say that we have a new, most efficient way of dispatching demons, but
Is it back? Yeah,
it is.
Here.
It's right
Yeah.
back there.
There we go.
So,
That never happened. Don't
no,
worry about it.
Lost what, dude? I still got it. So we're picking up another breaker that we never used before, Rawhide, and that's to set up for an upcoming fight, which is, it's not a boss fight, but it's missions are either going to end with a boss or sort of like a big, like, reg encounter. And that's what we're walking into at the end of this mission. It's going to be a lot of knights, and we're going to see, hopefully, a way to use both of those breakers to get rid of them all quickly. In the meantime, just a couple more standard fights with the lizard demons, which I haven't really talked much about.
Not much.
Ooh! Thank you, Cosmic. Thank you. I needed that. Beautiful. Beautiful.
So this next fight, the Proto-Angelo, when he goes into a formation where he holds up his sword in front of his face, if you parry or attack him in some way while the Angelos are forming up around him, you're going to actually see them all flash like a very pale purple or pink, which is similar to the finisher state that V puts them in. And we call this the Angelo exploit because I can actually kind of just pray that the V AI here is going to finish one of them off and make this fight a little bit shorter. Ideally, he finishes the Proto, which is the big Angelo with like this huge sword here.
Yeah, this is actually one of the first fights where another character can actually come in and help out. I'm praying for you, bud.
Here we go. Why did it complete? Okay, whatever.
These things happen.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, so we're just taking a... Nice.
And you're going to come down here.
Hold that. Nice.
Guts and honor. And that should be done.
That was
Nice.
clean.
Clean.
Oh, my word.
V didn't want to help me out,
You wouldn't know it.
but
You wouldn't know it. Those enemies have a lot of health. They went down pretty easily. I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of the Buster arm, man.
Oh, I'm proud of you.
Fair enough.
Is this?
This is mission 8, yeah.
I read it, but I don't know what happens during.
We go and find the demon.
Oh, we're still as Nero, thank you.
Yeah.
Dude, nice.
So here we're gonna have to encounter Urizen again. It's gonna be another force fail, but it's gonna be a little bit different than before.
Oh, yeah, we should have explained. So, like, basically the whole point of the game is you're trying to just go back and have run backs with the Demon King. The whole prologue is basically the squad gets bodied, and we leave Dante behind. That's the reason that we don't see him at this point, and it's not even clear if he's still alive. So we're just going back through the demon tree, which is where we are right now. It doesn't look much like a tree, but you gotta believe me on some things. And we're looking to get our $5 back, basically. All right, I'm seeing you. Oh. All right, Cosmic. You're having some fun.
I always have fun, man. This game is amazing. Excuse me? Excuse me?
Thank you.
What was that hitbox?
There we go.
Nice.
There we go. I'm feeling it.
Okay, I had a little bit too much fun, Vash.
It's okay. It's okay. Oh, well. It's okay. When you play Dante, though, I'm looking for them loops.
We looking for him? Looking for him? man?
I'm donating if you hit them.
Okay, fair enough.
So this is actually the point where Cosmic gets to use that level 2 move. So those 2 lamps that are burning right by Nero's health bar, that's his Exceed gauge. We leveled that up to unlock Exceed level 2, which, like the level 2 EX, gives basically just an additional spin to his launcher move, which lets us clear the elevator just that little bit quicker. So we do get to use combat tricks for mobility in a lot of cases, especially when we get to Dante, so keep an eye out for that. You don't really get to see it here, but how we transition through the demon tree is we basically just take a blood elevator, and it just drops us off somewhere.
Somewhere.
Nero
Nero has no idea where it's going, but he takes it anyways.
Is he gonna pull out Google Maps?
He could.
He could.
Probably has it in his. Oh wait, he breaks those. Never mind.
True.
So here's another intended fight skip. We're just gonna clear right over it.
Yep.
And I'm just gonna grab this here. I don't normally grab this, but I'm a little bit low on orbs for my own liking, so.
Some people actually do that skip, like on a normal playthrough, without even knowing.
Yeah.
And then people in their chats would be like, "Dude, what are you doing? How did you know this?"
You're supposed to fight that.
There's another one after this fight as well. There's another one of those intended fights. We got time for a quick donation, though.
All right, we have $15 from Mancat, who says, can't donate much, but had to donate during my friend's run. Good luck on the run, DECosmic, and slay those demons.
Much love, man.
So, I guess one thing to think about, like as with the lizards, we also have a goat now. Basically we just have a big farm here. A lot of Cosmic.
What? I just broke the arm. I wanted to see the explodey.
It's not even 7 o'clock, dude. The kids are still up. You can't be doing this to me. So a lot of the demons in this game basically function as punching bags, let's just say. You know, they like the goats are supposed to be spellcasters. He wasn't really chucking around a lot of spells. So you basically just take them all to the cleaners. It's a good time out here. You gonna take that? No, you're not. No, he doesn't have.
We're gonna take these.
You have no idea how many times he picked that up in practice.
It doesn't get timed in load
It tilted me out. It tilted me.
Why?
I don't. Because you don't have to take it.
Did it leave you feeling blue, Vash? Because it's a blue orb fragment? Yeah, get it? Uh-huh.
I'm taking a drink of water. Bud.
He's sweating.
I really am.
Well, I mean, Vash, there's the punchline right there, so in case you missed the joke.
Do you mind if I jump in real quick?
Oh,
go for it.
We just crossed $31,000 for Final Fantasy VI. We still need to get to $100,000, so we're getting closer, but be sure to get your donations in for Final Fantasy VI. Just wanted to jump in and let you know we've crossed 31K. Still will need a bit more.
Woo! Y'all have been complete troopers. Another elevator skip on inbound. How close are we to the Demon King?
I think that's all the fights that we just go to the Demon King.
All right. So this fight coming up, before we got washed. We were supposed to get washed. We're supposed to get washed again, but not in the same way. So we're actually supposed to beat the first phase when Urizen is just sort of chilling on the couch. And to do that, we're going to use all these new Devil Breakers that Nero's been accruing up until this point. I'm just going to jockey all the way in, dude.
Good.
I wasn't going to jockey now.
It's all right.
Phone here.
Also, in case you can't really tell because of how like volume or what have you, this game's soundtrack is beautiful all the way through. We had a little bit of V's theme, but everything is just so good. This game is so crisp.
It's very pretty.
Oh, it is. You forget because you watch it all the time, but it is. It looked like a movie. It's beautiful.
And these computers are doing it justice right now. Let me just say
shout out
that.
to Alienware for how crisp this looks right now.
Not for much longer.
Unrecognizable to Cosmic's home rig. That's okay, though.
Yeah, it's fine.
He's not playing Minecraft right now.
So to start off this fight, I'm going to do a level 2 streak. I'm going to dodge to the side twice and then do an air Gerbera. I'm going to back up a little bit here, let these lasers come down, do another air Gerbera,
You having a winning streak.
and then it should pretty much just be out of here. Yep, there we go. We're going to go to the next phase.
And now he got out the chair. That whole scene, you skipped it, but he was upsetty.
He's very upset.
Oh, he's
When he gets out of the chair, you know.
He's upsetty spaghetti, dude. So, you can kill this one.
Yeah.
Okay, so you
I
can
believe so.
kill. Oh, I mean, of course I killed it too. I mean,
Yeah, of course, we all killed it.
I'm good at this game like you, dude. So,
Excuse me?
You're too short.
oh,
It's like Vash playing.
That's a very unusually high laser.
no, I'm sorry. I didn't. I mistook when I introduced myself the first time. Hi, I'm 5'4". Thanks, waifu.
So that's another death to the Demon King.
Yes, all planned.
Very
0 for 2 right now.
calculated.
Sorry,
I think Nero just takes L's to yours in this entire...
he does though.
Yeah. I mean, technically not at the end, but...
Wait, do we got? No, we got one more mission.
Yeah, that's true. So this mission is going to be the second to last of these missions, and this has a couple of like really neat tricks on it. A lot of it is very movement based. There's only a few fights that we actually do. If the kitty scooter will come out for me, here we go.
He doesn't want to start up. You didn't charge him.
He's a little bit camera shy.
So, Cosmic, I don't know if you touched on this yet, but you don't have to lose your running momentum at any point, really, unless, like, because you can maintain it through a jump. And that was sort of really the point of him trying to jump over those small cliffs. There's a big dude on screen. This is the behemoth. He's annoying.
He's also dead.
He's very dead. Shout outs to human difficulty. Big
Gotta go fast, man.
Big dubs. Ooh, we came in from the side.
I don't even... Was that like over there?
That was outside. You could not have seen that. How do you feel right now?
I really don't know how to feel.
I mean, you don't need a no damage here, do you?
No.
No.
It would have been all right.
It would have been.
I wouldn't have complained.
No,
but
I don't think anybody would have. But we're here.
we are.
So this actually is one of the most like fun and flowing of these missions, if nothing else from a like mobility standpoint, because the boy's just skating along and going through like a bunch of optional fights that you don't really need, but the environment is also just so broken down and layered vertically. And right now we have actually another non-intended fight skip, but it depends on Cosmic getting the movement speed of the kitty scooter.
Yeah, I was just gonna let that go.
He's gonna
Give me
power it
1
up
second,
again.
dude.
Ooh, the nurse is in the game. I'm feeling it. Over the fight.
We're good.
Yeah, you got it.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Easy every time.
And I would have had to fight like a proto Angelo and a couple of Hellbats, and so it would have lost me like a minute. So it's really nice to be able to get that.
Protos are the big soldiers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been a lot of time.
Yeah. And like You would think like, oh, I can checkpoint it, but the checkpoint there will actually take you back to the very beginning of the mission. So if you're doing like a PB run or even like an environment like this, you pretty much only got one shot at it, so.
And there's actually another skip coming up pretty soon after this next forced fight.
Yeah, that one's really gonna be quick though. It's gonna be like gone in the blink of an eye.
Yeah. So this is just another standard fight, but the skip that's coming up, it's gonna be very quick. You notice that when V chucks the cane like that, he teleports to it, almost like Noctis. And we can use that. He doesn't have to hit anything to teleport to it. So he can just blind chuck. You are taking unfortunate dumps.
It didn't matter, bro. I thought Griffin had my back, but you know. The bird is the word.
That's what you
Because
get.
I'm here. He's upset with me.
That's what you get for trusting the boys.
Yeah, you embarrassed me at the last GDQ.
It's not even here, no. Ways to go.
It's here.
Who remembers this game, honestly?
I do. Very vividly. So here's the skip, if I just get it.
He's gonna chuck the
There
teleport
we
to
go,
it.
yeah, right through.
Nice. Easy
Yeah,
peasy.
there's that right
Yes.
there. Yeah.
And as we were talking about earlier, the game is so robust, he can do that, and the fight that he has to do out here, it'll load. And it'll spawn demons, and he can complete it and move on.
And you'll actually see like me have to skip a,
Parry.
hold on here.
Do it. Yeah. I'll give you
Oh, that's
$5
pretty
after the
sick.
run. That's a Subway gift card right there.
What are you doing to me?
So we can actually manipulate this Death Scissors into attacking by taunting them.
Okay, never mind, we're good.
Sorry, I didn't panic. There you go. Parry. Yeah. Aw,
Really? It did that to me? Okay, fine.
That's it's
There we go.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay.
One more to go.
I'm gonna actually let this play.
So one of these taunts. He starts playing the violin, dude. He's such a dork. Ooh, DECosmic. You spun on him.
Always, Vash. You know how
Don't
to
say
do.
you did not do this in practice. I mean, he did this in practice. What am I talking about?
I was inspired, okay? Felt
Consistent
inspired.
every time with the smoking sexy style.
So we probably got some time for donations.
Yeah.
Got one more fight here.
Sure. We have a $50 donation from Cubivore who says, "Attention Twitch chat, we have a mission. Get Final Fantasy VI met. We do not have much time. Let's get a $5 donation train going during the DMC5 run. We can do this. We will do this. Make it happen. Get it done. P.S. Shout outs to my posting pals on the Something Awful AGDQ thread." And we've got a few donations here with no messages. First off, we have an anonymous $650 donation.
The shmoney.
That anonymous person.
And also, no message, but Mr. X sends a donation of $1,000.
Mr. X.
Coming out of retirement.
Do we have time for one more?
Yeah, we got
go
time.
for it.
All right, we got $15 from Mick152, who says, "Massive props to my homie Cosmic, making it in the big leagues. He deserves it after all the work he's put into the DMC speedrunning community. He's helped out so many runners, including me, when we were getting started, and he really put in the effort to grow a great speedy community, and now he gets to show off one of the greatest games ever for a great cause. Now, enough sappy talk. Get out there and beat that game fast, Mr. Cosmic. Huge love."
Much love so much. So now we go back a little bit in time, like a month before the events of the game take place. Now we get to play as the boy, Dante. So the best way to describe
This is what
Dante-
everybody came for. Let's
yeah,
go.
you know. Thank you. It's earned. So the entire concept behind Dante. If V summons and Nero is a motorcycle sword and an arm, Dante is a walking arsenal. So he can switch up his fighting style, his sword, and his gun independently at will. And we're going to use a series of those different actions from each of those parts of his kit to move around the environment quickly, to set up efficient kills on smaller demons, burst damage on single targets. He really does have everything he needs, both in the air and on the ground, to just
Do whatever he wants.
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Just turn on God mode.
And the flames that I activated on my gauntlets, it's a mechanic called Ignition. And what Ignition does is allows me to do more damage and gives some moves launch properties, as well as gives me access to new moves later that we'll get.
And some of those new moves later are really powerful.
You could say they're really impactful.
Yes, you could.
And it's activated by doing a couple of successful like attacks in a row.
Don't let me
It
talk
builds up
about it.
momentum.
Correct.
So sometimes you'll see him like disco spinning or like kicking in the air and stuff before those enemies, and that's to build ignition before the fight starts. So he has it at the beginning.
And you've not so. Whereas V used his magical meter to power up his pets and to summon Nightmare, Dante uses his meter. That was nice, Cosmic. Ooh,
It was all right.
I'm supporting it. He uses his to enter what's called Devil Trigger, which for him basically just turns him into a more powerful version of himself. And here we get to access our first actual shop for Dante. And here,
We're gonna get Swordmaster level 4.
yep.
We're gonna grab, which is really expensive. But
Yes, it is.
it's warranted. We're gonna get Trickster level 3, which is the mobility style. We're gonna get Ignition 2, which will extend the ignition of duration of ignition. I'm sorry. And then we're gonna get Stinger level 2, another staple of DMC speedrunning.
Da.
Lots of dogs.
Lots of
Lots of
da.
DAWs, but this is more like yeah.
Yeah, he changes.
Ooh, we got a spinny boy coming in. Can you hit it? Royal Guard for the block. Ooh! Yeah. Blown
Decimate.
up. I know. He gets sent to the Shadow Realm. He doesn't even get to play. So that's what we talk about when we get to use each of these tools for defense, mobility. He's a very intensive character at higher levels because you're swapping between all those independent fighting styles, guns and swords, for like basically one action, and then you're moving on to the next one. And for those
And you have so many different moves for each of those skill sets, so you can line up some pretty crazy combos.
For those of you who have never played this game before, like it's sort of similar to a fighting game in a sense, to where every time Cosmic does a stinger, he has to lock onto a target. While he's holding lock on, he has to push forward on the analog stick and then his melee button. That's for one move. And you have an entire roster. Some things, are back to forward melee, back to forward style. And it's all over the place.
Right, yeah, as the Devil May Cry series kind of progresses, in terms of the speedrun and even casual play, the amount of inputs that are happening to form some of these combos and get that high damage just increases. In Devil May Cry 1, you're kind of limited, but as the series goes on, like Devil May Cry 3, there's quite a lot of options, especially if you're using the Style Switcher, which is kind of PC only, but in this game, it's not PC only, it's just a part of the game, and it opens up everything for Dante.
Or on the Switch, am I right?
Oh,
Am I right?
Oh, this is the Switch, though?
So for this skip here, we're gonna actually activate this fight here, and then we're gonna abuse encounter priority to make it so that the fight in this hallway never spawns.
Yeah, and
Just nothing happens.
nothing happens.
It's a nice cutscene though.
There's supposed to be lizards here.
And there's not.
There's not.
They're already not here.
What is that tearing? Okay.
It looked like a spinning blue sword in the air.
I don't know. What are we out here? We got time for some donations.
Sure. Before we get to that, just want to remind everybody, because we're getting so close, we're still approximately $63,000 away from Final Fantasy VI, and we talked about a donation train. Well, how about this? $15 from Muznik says, I heard something about a donation train that's in need of a suplex. $5 from Banjo Kablooey, who says, let's suplex this donation train for Final Fantasy VI. We have $5 from $5 at 5555, who says 555 555 555 555 555 555. $5 from Basic EXP, who says attendees better be getting in on that donation train too. And Wavefront sends a donation of $500.
Nice.
Nice.
who says, kudos to the staff, runners, and commentators for another awesome marathon. This donation goes towards the bonus Final Fantasy VI run. Less cancer, more GDQ. Honk. Honk.
All right, so the whole point of the prologue is basically that Dante was the first person to get a crack at Urizen. He gets washed hard, but we're on the way up to that part of the demon tree right now. We missed a cycle here, which I've never seen before.
It's because I went to grab the backup orb cache there. Oh. Yeah. I think that they operate on a global timer. I've not really.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do.
But before we even get there, we have one more encounter with the Angelos, which are sort of like the soldier knights of this game, is the best way to put it. But we're just gonna uppercut. Oh, a whiff, City.
That's fine.
It's all right.
Not whiffing this one.
No, definitely not. So one of the reasons why it's even reasonable to do it, almost. So depending on where Cosmic is positioned, when he does real impact, that right there, that uppercut can actually carry other demons up with it into that massive damage spike. So if he positions himself where he gets a little bit lucky, he can erase just 4 demons, no problem, as long as he gets the attack off. And that's one of the reasons why double trigger meter is so important for this. There he goes.
Oh, by the way, for anybody that doesn't know, the Kalina and Lady's gun is in this fight.
He's got a gun.
Yeah.
And it's actually equipped to Dante right then and there. We don't use it, but it's an option.
So here's just another force fail, yeah.
Yeah, it's another supposed to lose fight. You can beat this one.
Yeah, you can.
I think all the force fail fights you can actually beat. You get like special credit.
Correct.
But I knew that, you know?
Yeah, of course.
I definitely knew that, so.
That was unlucky.
Do you have the backflip?
I have the backflip. I was just in iframes from the recovery, so.
So. There's actually a.
There we go.
Yeah. Is a way. When he throws those fireballs, he technically throws 2. And when Dante gets hit in Trickster, he can sort of pivot and backflip out of it. If Cosmic times it correctly, he can get hit by the first fireball, recover, just in time to get hit by the second. It's
Tight window, though.
I've never been more happy to be hurt in my life.
Just want to jump in. We've now crossed a grand total of $900,000 for the event.
Very nice.
And now we're going to actually get our father's sword, which we last saw like in DMC1.
So much more helpful in this game than it is in that one.
It is, yeah.
So now we're back current timeline, basically. So Nero is off getting mixed by Urizen. V found Dante, woke him up, because he got bodied like a month ago, and now he's back in action. And those textures are pretty little.
Shit. Real quick, can I tell you why we just crossed $900,000?
Oh, yes, please.
The Yeti has sent a donation of $10,000.
Nice.
Many bowls.
Says, hey all, Yeti here. I've got to see that Final Fantasy VI bonus run, and I know you all do too. Let this donation kick off a rallying cry to get this incentive met. We can do it all. We can do it if we all donate now. Also, special hello to Yeti Jack, Yeti Penny, and Yeti Maddie, who are tuned in every day after school. Hi.
Keep that $5 train going.
Leave.
For sure. This is another backup orb tree that I'm just gonna grab just for safety purposes.
Yeah, so even though we're that number looks like a lot, 46,000 seems like a lot of money, it really will only get you a couple of high-level purchases that we need to basically just erase a couple of endgame fights as Dante. So it's really important that Cosmic stays on track with his economy overall. What did you just do?
I just broke a white crystal.
Don't lie to me.
I did. Yeah, there's another one right there.
Let me talk to you after the run. So here's another demon introduction. So the Hell Judeca doesn't get to play the game.
Demon,
dead.
DT Stinger in this game is just so strong. It does everything.
Yeah.
Pulls people in, clusters them together, deals tons of damage, and has tons of range.
Yeah. Doesn't even let him get out of bed.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. So between DT Stinger and Real Impact, that is more or less. It's all right. It's all right. I believe in you.
I just wanted the extra DT bar.
I wanted to give you $15. What can I say?
Fair enough.
He's doing it. So the deal with these pyro bats is when you actually get them their health low enough, they start to sort of like expand out and turn sort of into like little bombs, depending on how you kill them.
But you can avoid that if you just kill them so fast that
Yeah.
they just die.
Yeah.
Kill them so fast they just die.
Imagine. That's how fast it's killing them. They just die.
They just die.
They just die. And now we're going to come up on the single Cavalier Angelo. So there's a one cycle here. Hopefully I can hit it. It uses Royal Guard. I'm just going to try for it.
This is the sickest fight in the game.
True.
Show me. 2B power if you watch us. Oh, royal release.
Okay.
Oh, no,
okay,
didn't
never
happen.
mind.
Didn't happen. So you're normally supposed to just parry through this fight, cheese it.
That's fine. Okay.
So he is going to teleport away, but it's okay because we have Trickster to teleport to him. Stack up on him. He's defenseless. Uppercut's good. Another one. He's going to land.
I tried
You
for it,
can
yeah.
block that. You can block everything in this game. Show it to me. One more uppercut.
Nice.
Why not?
That's fine.
Man got put to sleep.
That was a really good recovery.
That was an excellent.
Yeah. The problem with that is that I forgot to shoot a gunshot to realign myself for the real impact because I was really surprised that I actually hit that royal release. So,
Oh yeah, that boss we just fought comes a motorcycle.
yeah, that's why you need to play this game because one character can rev his sword like a motorcycle and the other character uses his motorcycle like a sword.
He's not even wrong. So now, as Dante gets more things into his arsenal, the way that Dante just quickly dispatches waves changes. So up until this point, you've mainly been seeing the uppercut, but for most of this mission, we're really going to be debuting Cavalier. And the way Cavalier works, sort of like Balrog's Ignition, is it gets more powerful as you keep attacking with it, depending on when you enter the next phase of the attack. So it's sort of like, it's called gear up. And as he keeps fighting, the way like the blade just grinds into the demon, really starts on through that HP. That's unfortunate positioning.
We did it anyway, though.
Yeah. It gave it to you. Respect it.
So this skip coming up we call Gargoyle Skip. It is an intended part of the level. It's a path that you can take. You get a bonus orb reward for actually completing this mission with no Nidhogg hatchlings. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to jump up right on that door there and just come right to this blood clot here. Because we have to open up the statue at the bottom of this level in order to pass through and fight the Demon King Urizen again.
Yeah, it's all just about running it back. So, nice, beautiful, beautiful. Oh, unfortunate misdirection. But that's really what's beautiful about running this game, is that all the tools that you get for combat, like Trickster's primarily to keep you safe in a fight. But if you position yourself correctly and you handle the limited air actions that you have correctly, you can clear like large distances. And the same thing is true in the other Devil May Cries, especially DMC4 to the best of my knowledge. There's also another little nice quirk of this game is because like every time you can like cover yourself like just in blood in the environment, it'll be reflected in your character model, and if you enter a cutscene with it, the character will just be, it'll just be bloody.
They do the same thing with how Nero enters cutscenes as well. Like if he jumps into a cutscene, he'll jump in the He'll jump in the animation. If he runs in, he'll run in. If he walks in, he'll walk in. He'll walk in. He'll walks in.
The walks in, dude.
The party don't start till he walk in.
So we've skipped a large number of what would normally be forced fights in this mission just by basically moving through the outside of it. Nice drop, bud.
I call that the hole-in-one.
I love Dante's line there. It's been a while since I've used my brain this much.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, Dante, you've been napping for a whole month.
And all I've been doing is wondering what he's ordering from Domino's, dude.
The strawberry sundae.
Also the strawberry. Is that canon or is that only in the anime?
I thought that was canon now because of this game, because it references the.
Oh, he's true. Ah, dang. Well, nobody gets that. So, coming up here, this is Dante's childhood home. He was a kid at one point, even though he's old. And he's gonna trade out his cool dad sword for his cool him sword. It's literally called Devil Sword Dante, and it gives him access to Sin Devil Trigger, which is just the ultimate anime power-up for him in this game. It's an entirely separate type of Devil Trigger for him, and you have to feed your existing Devil Trigger meter into it. So now we can come back and we can be the one to wash Yuri's in.
Oh my goodness. God.
Yeah.
That damage.
We Millie Rock on every block.
Saw Trish for like 1 second.
1 second, yeah.
Wait, saw who? I don't know who that character.
You don't know who that is?
Oh, we know damage is excellent. That'll make up for some orbs from early on.
Maybe they should put a DLC in where I get to play as that character.
Hey, that'd be cool, wouldn't it?
Did we meet the Faustak cutscene incentive?
Oh, that's a good point.
Let me see.
I'm trying to watch it.
No? Okay. Yeah.
Y'all got no idea what you missed, and he gets that hat and he dances with it. He bowls. But
Yeah, Nico makes him that hat, and it's actually like super, super powerful in this game. You use your red orb currency as ammo for it actually, and the more you invest in it, the more damage it does. So at this point in the run, there's some certain things that it might be worth investing like a ton of orbs into to just quickly kill a bunch of stuff.
yeah, it is affectionately called the money gun. Because, you know, he's getting up there in years, so we just got to start throwing his 401k at people.
So for here, I'm going to buy a delay combo or a pause combo for Red Queen called Red Queen Combo D, and it's going to give Nero a launch that we'll use later on. I'm also going to set up a couple of magazines. One of them is just going to be a buster that I'm just going to use for this mission as well as mission 15. And then I'm going to put a 3 overtures and a ragtime, which is a slowdown arm, into the other magazine. We'll use that a little bit later. For right now, we're just going to go through this level, though, with Nero. And the point of this level is you have to descend through a bunch of floors and kill these spawners, and then just descend through.
Aren't Dante and V supposed to be in here too?
Oh yeah, this is one of the few real co-op missions in this game.
Yes. It's a little tough, but if you and a buddy can like just connect to the same mission at the same time, and if you drank your Ovaltine that morning, the game will actually put you into the same mission together, and you get to have fun for 5 minutes. It's a good time.
It is. We definitely got some time for donations here, though. It's a
Sure.
downtime mission.
Before we do that, just want to remind everybody we are halfway to Final Fantasy VI. We're still approximately $44,000 away, so make sure you keep those donations coming in for Final Fantasy VI. Through the duration of this run, it would be after this if we hit it. 44,000 away, but we got a few more donations here. We got $25 from Disdon, who says, giving a cool $25 for our buddy DECosmic. Good luck on the run from everyone in the Retro Rainbow Discord.
Much love, Disdon.
We have $50 from Broly2012 who says, Cosmic, so incredible seeing you and the team doing this run live. Best of luck and keep up the amazing work. Mills and the gang are all rooting for you.
Everybody except Mills is cool.
And
Much love, Broly.
And Chef Andy Lunique with a $100 donation that says, I have to say this run gets me motivated. Big love from myself and the Discord team.
Got time for a couple more, yeah.
Sure. How about some donation train? We'll rapid fire these. We have Horse with No Name with $55.55 says have some fives for the $5 train. Zombie56 with $5 says train hype. Choo Choo with $55.55 says Final Fantasy VI, let's go. Tabby Gator with $5 says let's prove that we can achieve anything if we work together. Dante 183 with $25 says is $25 the price to pay for power? Final Fantasy VI run. And $5 Train with $25 says here's 5 for me and 4 others. Every bit counts.
Excellent.
So at this point, all 3 characters are gunning for Urizen. He's off, he's hurt. V is off for his own reasons. Do we break it to him?
We can. Yeah, we can do that. Sure.
Okay, so V is actually 1/2 of Dante's brother, Virgil. He's the human half that, I know, dude. I know, dude. I gave the warning. But, so the entire point... So this is actually like V's quest to get back to his full power, or like his own body at this point. And this is a bit of a trope that appears in pretty much every Devil May Cry game. It's just like a mission that's a dedicated boss fight gauntlet. But they put a nice twist on it. V fights demons that he never fought before, and all of his summons are taken away. He can only get back one at a time. Oh!
I tried to parry there, yeah.
You can?
You can, yeah.
Oh, I knew that.
Yeah, so at the beginning of the first fight, he can choose which one he wants to pick, and he obviously picks Griffin, and then does this fight because Griffin is the best for this fight. And then after he beats this boss, he'll be able to pick another one of his companions to take to the next boss until he beats all 3 bosses and has all of his companions back.
Also, if it looks like he's just melting through them like butter, the demons are actually, the boss fights are weaker. So it's not like if you would just put V in this fight, he would have just dusted Artemis anyway.
Right.
So right now we're going to go back and fight Goliath, this time getting the cat.
Then there's a couple of white orbs around this fight that I want to grab. There is... Where'd you go? All right, we're not going to look for you then. We're going to go over to this guy.
Blended in with the ground. There it is.
Yeah. That white orb never betrays me. Here's Goliath again. There's sometimes where this fight, he just starts gunning for V immediately.
Yeah.
He can really do a lot of damage, but fortunately, he's just kind of paying attention to the pets
He's
here.
very distracted.
So are you actually supposed to skip the longer animation? Is like the Rock'em... Oh, wait, no, you don't even have Nightmare.
Yeah, I don't have Nightmare, yeah.
Don't listen to me, dude.
Yeah.
I don't play this game.
Yes, you do, Vash. You love this game.
I do love this game.
But yeah, if you have Nightmare there, it goes into like a sort of like a sparring match between Goliath and Nightmare that happens, but we don't want that because it's a really big, long animation, so we don't choose Nightmare there.
And now we get the Cavalier run back minus the horse. And Nightmare just body slams on him. And he can't believe we've done this to him. So it really is at this point just a matter of dumping as much meter as Cosmic can get his hands on into his just
There we
army.
go.
And this is one of
Debated.
just it's one of the sickest animations in the game.
And this is pretty much like just a movement section, so we can do some donations here too.
Sure. We have $25 from Utelegarn, who says, watching Devil May Cry 5 get decimated while waiting for Final Fantasy VI to receive the same treatment. What could be better than this? Oh yeah, kicking cancer's butt.
True.
Heck yeah.
True.
$25 from Regendorf, who says, here is 5 $5 donations. One for each time the devil cried, not counting the one we don't talk about.
Good, good.
We
You know
have
what's up.
We have an anonymous $100 donation who says, let's see some honking Final Fantasy VI.
Honk. Honk.
$10 from Anonymous, who says, I haven't even finished Devil May Cry 5 yet, but this run was too good to miss. Great job, and let's get this Final Fantasy VI thing done. And looking over, we are approximately still about $42,000 away, so make sure those keep coming in if you want to see Final Fantasy VI after this run. Do we have time for one more?
Yep, go for it.
We have Fiducial, hope I said that right, with $250.
Yes.
Hey, there
Thank
we go.
you.
Hey,
Thank you.
Who says, let's see that Final Fantasy VI run get met. Shout out to my fiance for introducing me to GDQ and to all the amazing runners. Keep on keeping on.
All right.
So that's the second to last time we'll see V. And then we're going to go to the second to last Nero mission. So this will be his last one for a little while. We're going to fight a chicken lady named Malphus at the end of this fight.
chicken lady.
Chicken lady.
You'll see what
Chicken lady.
you will see what we mean. But
Let's get airborne.
I love it. I love it.
Well done.
I don't know what to say.
I appreciate the energy, honestly. I really do.
Riding high.
So there's just gonna be a little bit of movement here with some stinger jumps, and then we're just gonna move on to a chaos fight. And these are the guys that Dante fought earlier, and we're gonna.
Oh, lock on. No, lock on.
Okay, lock on. That's
all right,
fine.
all right, that's
Yeah,
cool.
that's
No, that's great.
And we'll just take.
Just
this
gonna
guy
yeet him
here.
around a little bit.
You know, yeah. He didn't want to cooperate,
They never
so
do.
forget him.
Yeet.
Oh, that's right. There's that other guy here. Yes,
There is. So, even though Buster Arm is so powerful, it is really good for single targets, but if you can't tell at this point, the animations, they vary based on the demon that you're hitting them with. And sometimes they just take too long. Especially at this difficulty level, it is sometimes quicker to just beat him to death with a sword.
Yeah, I really just did it because I felt like.
Also, worst guard ever coming up right here.
Yeah.
Let's get airborne.
Later. Again, are they going to follow? No.
I had somebody clip this section in one of my streams, and they just put it as the Cleveland Browns defensive line.
You sneak up behind them. It's you hate to see it.
You do. But that was a backup Buster Arm that I grabbed there, just in case. These next few fights, the enemies are very prone to hit you out of your Buster animations, so figured I'd just play it safe, grab that extra one there. We're gonna fight another behemoth.
Yes. This one's about to get washed. But it's important to note that of the many ways that Nero can lose one of his arms, we've seen it a couple of times up until this point, but if you're using it and a demon hits you while you're either charging up its most powerful attack, or if you're even in the recovery and you gave me a heart attack, you take damage in that state, Nero, like it just gets broken and you have to go to the next one. So, like that.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you for the demonstration, Cosmic.
Yeah, no problem. Also demonstrated that the backup is worth something.
Yes. Dubs all around. Dubs all around.
And then here I think is actually the first fight that we see with the Heljudeca. And the Heljudeca is an enemy that is pretty much immune to projectiles, and it will teleport everywhere and be like super annoying. So what we want to do is try and take it out of the fight as quickly as possible with some canned animations that we'll bait it into, and make sure that it doesn't go off and like do its own thing, or the fight just becomes a nuisance, really.
Oh.
Okay, there we go. That's fine.
All right.
So there we go. He's out of the way.
So the nice thing about a lot of, like, much like with the Antonora, for example, like, a lot of their reactions are consistent, so you can plan around them. But sometimes it just means that you mess something up and you know you just gotta hold that for a couple minutes. Oh, you're gonna put him up? Gonna gat him up? Oh my God!
The disrespect.
Indeed.
It's because Nero's actually the best boy.
I still have to give it to Dante, man, I'll be honest.
Style switching is cool, but this guy's got a girlfriend, man. At the end of the day.
Not that you see her at all.
No.
No. So It's like Frozone's wife. That's what Kyrie's been relegated to.
Kyrie got worked. It's unfortunate. Hey man, DMC6.
We're in there. So here the boss fight is a little bit finicky. I have to plant 3 overtures on her. But if she hits me, then there's a chance it can activate a cutscene that will remove all the overtures. So I'm just gonna let her hit me.
Chicken lady.
Chicken lady. Yep. Hi, V. Bye, V.
Okay, fun fact. This is actually a concept that came from DMC1. If you go back and check out the concept art from DMC1 before it was actually like DMC1, there's a boss that looks exactly like this, except the lady isn't a part of it. So this is like an 18-year-old boss concept.
And speaking of time, Cosmic's new arm, Ragtime, when he uses its most powerful attack, it just basically activates a slowing effect on everything.
There we go.
My goodness.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
Hey, so did you know this was a boss concept from this game? Oh, it's dead. Never mind.
that was a lot inhuman difficulty.
There is.
It do.
The reason that I used the Ragtime there is just to extend her knockdown so that even if my DPS isn't like totally like just on point, there's a very, very likely chance that I can kill her before she comes back up. So here we're going to actually be going to fight Cerberus, the 3-headed dog, but a more powerful version of it, the dog that originally appeared in DMC3. And we're going to be using a lot of the fast hat.
We're going to be using that money.
We're going to be hitting them with the money gun.
It's going to be good.
So as anybody who's played this game is aware, and anybody that hasn't played this game, I'm going to inform you now, there's no consumable items in this game unless they're the Devil Breaker, but there's no like Holy Water, Devil Stars, or Vital Stars. But there is the Faust Meteor, or the Red Hot Knight, and you're going to see that soon. It's just going to be a giant,
It's just going to be...
it's going to be something.
You're not going to be able to miss it. Just charging it up.
And here we go.
Hose on.
Done. Deleted.
Deleted. And then we just kill this guy.
Oh,
Okay. His hitbox is really finicky as he's spawning sometimes, so there we go.
the last hit of that killed.
Dude, his scarf is going everywhere.
Yeah, right? It's amazing. We got some time for donations because a lot of the fights here are pretty similar.
Sure, we have a lot coming in, and we're still about $38,000 away from Final Fantasy VI, so keep those coming in. We have a $40 donation from 3D Assassin 89 that says, "Smokin' sexy style." We have a $10 donation from Seth Rona, who says, "Cosmic, you got this all the way. Make it stylish, defeat those demons, and get those skips. S rank all the way."
Much love, Seth, much love.
We have a $20 donation from Razor Athane, who says, "Hey Cosmic, super proud of all you've achieved here, and I'm sure the DMC community is too. I'm so happy for you and look forward to seeing what you do next. Lots of love from down under."
Much love, Reggie.
We got time for one more?
Keep them
Yep,
coming.
go for it, yeah.
We have a Alfredo sends a $250 donation,
Nice.
and they say $250 for the Final Fantasy VI run and naming all the characters. Honk.
Honk.
And Scott Benson sends along a donation of $500.
Yeah.
And Scott says, "In 8th grade, I almost failed algebra because of Final Fantasy VI. 30 years later, it feels like I made the right choice. Who even factors equations?" Hashtag FF6 versus algebra.
Keep going, man.
Yeah, keep it going.
All right, here's my moment. We have $100 from Jax1, who says, "This run is smoking. Keep it up, DECosmic. I should have been the one to fill your dark soul with light." Thank you.
And that's pretty much all that we have to look forward to until we hit the actual... I know there's one more fight.
One more, buddy.
In the ice chamber, so...
A few more donations.
Yeah.
Yep, go for it.
$25 from the Andersons, who says, "What an exciting Devil May Cry run. This game looks awesome to run. Donation goes to the Final Fantasy run. We can do it." All right, here we go. We couldn't go the whole time without avoiding these. We have $25 from the Unexpected Mango 162 who says, "What's Dante's favorite dessert?" Devil May Pie.
Devil May Pie. Much love, Mango. Much love.
Thank you.
Got time for more?
One more.
One more? All right, we have $5 from Stillfax, who says, "Loving this DMC5 run so far. Very informative. It shows me how much I have to learn if I go back and play it again. Much love from Arizona. Let's kick cancer's butt and get that Final Fantasy VI run."
And here is Cerberus. So, using everything that we have up until this point, we're mainly going to be relying on Dante's Sin Devil Trigger to get Cerberus into a weaker state. So he's going to power up, he's going to hit him with the anime for a minute, and each of Cerberus's heads actually have their own independent hitbox. So when Dante cleaves like that, he can hit multiple heads at once. And Cosmic's going to do his best to sort of steer around, and now he's going to rely on Ignition and do his best to clip as many heads as possible.
That was really good.
That was
right
incredible.
there.
And drive on him. Clean.
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 So, throwback to the Devil May Cry 3 boss, but his battle theme is way cooler in this game. And then you get nunchucks.
You do get nunchucks.
That we never use,
Never
unfortunately.
used. They're really cool, though. They're fun to use in combos.
This next fight is going to be me forcing Urizen through his phases. I'm just explaining this before because it's a rather intense fight. So I'm just going to be using real impact loops to do that. Urizen has shed his tentacled form and he's become basically a kickboxer. So
Yeah, but he's still big.
he's still very big.
He's still very big. Now at this point, do we drop the other spoiler on him? Do we drop the other spoiler on him?
Oh, let's go for it, yeah.
So if V is one half of Dante's brother Virgil, Urizen is the other half of Dante's brother Virgil. That's why V wants to get to, I know, I'm hearing it. I'm aware. I'm sorry. But otherwise, he's just going to show up, this old man, and no one's going to know who he is. So, at this point, everyone's just sort of gunning for him, and
He's dead. He's dead. Great fight. I swear he doesn't usually drop that fast, but okay.
no, don't be humble.
It's true.
Do we have time for some big donations?
Of
Yes.
course.
All right, this has no message, but Warhammer Kid sends along $1,000.
Oh, my.
Thank-
We're not done yet. Dubanka also sends $1,000
Oh.
and says, "I know a speedrun skips most of the plot, but I hope we really find, I hope we finally find out if the devil cries or not." And one more, Coil 179 sends $6,000. Wow. What? Yes, sir.
Hello?
And says, "Hey, GDQ, we're watching as a team and really enjoying the run, so we thought we would chip in. Devil May Cry 5, but Cancer's going to cry 6. Donation goes towards Final Fantasy VI incentive, which we are still about $27,000 away from. We're getting to the nitty-gritty on that. Make sure you get it in. If we meet it, it'll be right after this run."
All right, so at this point, if you haven't noticed, we're sort of fighting V's summons. So Virgil's back, V's gone, and his pets are just able to roam around, and they want Dante's money. So we're going to give it to him.
They just go down.
Also a remixed battle theme from Devil May Cry 1
Yeah.
for Shadow.
There's so many sweet touches in this game.
Yeah, a lot of fan service.
Yeah.
Which is really fantastic.
So this will be the last fight, second to last fight before the final boss fight of here, which is going to be a fight with Nightmare. And there is going to be a one cycle there as well, which I'm going to try and do.
Thankfully, so the thing about Red Hot Night, the Meteors, is that they're only coming in at the position that they were called out to. So when enemies move around, if they walk outside of that radius, they don't take any of that damage. And that's going to become something that is going to be a bit of a problem when we go to fight Virgil, but that's just something to keep in mind when like Cosmic is actually releasing Red Hot Knight. But to fight Nightmare, he's just a big dude. Just drive on him for a little bit. He can't handle the blender. Oh.
Maybe he can.
Maybe he can. Oh! Whoa. All right, it's all right. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. All right, nothing.
Okay. We might just checkpoint this.
Wait.
Wow, he was really nice to me. Jeez. Okay.
There we go.
Nice. That was the one cycle.
All right.
That's right. Very
Excellent.
sloppy. We'll work with it.
What are you talking about? Nothing happened. That was clean.
And here's going to be the start of one of two Virgil fights. And he's a pretty uncooperative guy. He doesn't like his brother very much.
And he's
so
malding.
He is malding, yeah. So we're going to see if we can just say hi and then bye to him. This might take a couple tries, but we'll see.
So the important thing for here is that instead of putting his meter towards anything else, Cosmic's going to be saving his Devil Trigger here to keep him stable because he's resistant to hit stun and Devil Trigger. He's going to need that to keep charging up the money. He's fighting him off.
He's going to teleport.
He
Pretty sure he's gonna
is.
teleport. No, he was cooperative. Okay.
Oh! Get him the money. 401k empty.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Nice fight.
Thanks, bro.
Gucci.
I appreciate it. And now to bring it home, this is the final mission.
Yes.
And Nero gets awakened to his true power, so he gains his Devil Trigger and his wings to fight his dad with.
And he gets a
Spoiler,
new arm.
Virgil is his dad.
Yes. And he's a little upset. So, if there's a lesson here, kids, take a lesson from the wonderful sponsors of GDQ, Red Bull. Head down to your local 7-Eleven. Get some wings. Go home.
Nero's gonna be a little bit of a potty guy here.
And just beat the hell out of your dad.
What? What?
He's about to do it to him. Be like Nero,
And time's
kids.
coming up here in a
Right?
second.
Give him the katana.
Time.
Ooh, time. Beautiful.
And that is Devil May Cry 5.
Awesome.
On human.
Got a really good time too.
That was fantastic.
So I would just want to thank all of the Devil May Cry community, Style and Speed. You guys are amazing. It's been an honor to be a part of this community for a year now. I just want to shout out a couple of people in general: Tech Theist, Time Thief, Loner Hero, Frug McGuffin, Unknown Drive, everybody else that I missed. This is DECosmic with Devil May Cry 5, and I just want to let everybody know that preventing cancer is stylish. So, that is it.
Ooh.
DMC is back.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah.
All right, another round of applause for DECosmic with Devil May Cry 5. We still got a lot of donations that have been coming in. Just want to remind you, we are still about $24,000 away from Final Fantasy VI. This is absolutely the nitty-gritty to get that in. We got an interview segment coming up after this, and then after that would be Final Fantasy VI. So we are in the home stretch. We have some donations that came in here. We have $512 from LHC, who says, honk. Oh, it gets better. Akita Fuki with $1,000, who says, honk. Just want to remind you that Awesome Games Done Quick 2020 is coming together to benefit the Prevent Cancer Foundation. The Prevent Cancer Foundation, founded in 1985, is a US-based nonprofit organization. Their mission is to save lives across all populations through cancer prevention and early detection by focusing their work through research, education, outreach, and advocacy. Their vision is to stop cancer before it starts, and you can find out more information about PCF at preventcancer.org. We're going to play a quick Twitch ad, and we'll be right back. All right, we're back from that Twitch ad. So here's the deal. Here's the deal. Here's the deal. We're getting set up for Destiny 2. We're getting set up for Destiny 2 here. Let me make sure we're on the right thing here. We're still about, let's see. Upon last look, we were still about 20,000 away from Final Fantasy VI. So go on and get your donations in for that. And also, we are about $45,000 away in total from hitting $1 million. So make sure that you get your donations in for all of that. Again, this goes to benefit the Prevent Cancer Foundation. It all goes to a great cause. And we do appreciate everything that everybody has sent in. We had some more donations for DECosmic. We had $25 from Zulu, who says, good luck on the run, DECosmic. Let's see Final Fantasy VI, everybody. $100 from God Fada, who says, help prevent cancer and get more Final Fantasy VI. Of course. $5 from Devil Never Cry, who says, shout out to the DMC squad. Mundus would be proud. Just a reminder, we are going to be, not just yet, but we're getting set up for Destiny 2. We'll be having an interview with our runners here shortly while everything is getting set up. Still going through a few of your donations, so keep them on coming in. We have, oh boy, $250 from Jello Tech, who says, all these puns are making me Devil May sigh. Zero Praxis also sends $250. Says, I don't know if we'll hit the Final Fantasy VI incentive. We have Sir Darkside 89 sending along $500. Who says, hope this is in time for the Final Fantasy VI run. This donation is in honor of my grandfather and a close friend I've lost to cancer. Thank you very much, Sir Darkside. Nats fan with a donation of $104 says, no way we are missing out on Final Fantasy VI. Let's go, people. There is still time. We have a $100 donation from, I hope I pronounce this right, ZulfLolB107, who says, go, go, go! And just a reminder, the Final Fantasy VI incentive is still open, so get those donations in. We are in the home stretch for Final Fantasy VI, so get those donations in. Speaking of, we have $100 from Fallen One, who says, pitching in for the Final Fantasy VI run. Dokken with a $25 donation that says, it would be terrible if we missed the Final Fantasy VI run. I think making this incentive is a lock, but it will take all of us to keep Sabin the day against cancer. Saganatsu sends along a $500 donation. No message, but no problem. Thank you very much. Kefka81 with a $250 donation, who puts in parentheses, MIDI laugh. Night Flyer with a $600 donation, who says, here's $600 to make Final Fantasy VI happen. Honk. That honk, my goodness. BRHH with $50 says, gotta get this Final Fantasy VI run done. $50 donation train, anyone? And I think people knew, because there's $50 from Tara Keat, who says, we're so close to Final Fantasy VI, guys. Honk. And then here's Ian Price with $50, who says, come on, Final Fantasy VI bonus run. And then there's R. Simpson 105 with $50, who says, let's get this bonus game. Hype. Lynx with $25 says, honk if you want to see some Final Fantasy VI. There we go. $15 from Steve 80, who says, simply because the date on the Devil May Cry 5's game save is my birthday. Good eye there. Good eye there, Steve. Kihana Cloudy 37 with $100, who says, Final Fantasy VI, please. Let's go, everyone. It needs to happen. All right, before we throw it over to this interview, just want to remind you that the donation incentive is going to be held open. We're approximately $5,200 away from it. We're going to the interview. It's going to close at the end of this interview. And here is JHobz with our Destiny 2 runners.
Thank you. Welcome, everybody. I'm JHobz, and I'm here to talk to some awesome Destiny 2 runners about FF6. So, Final Fantasy VI. Why is it your favorite Final Fantasy game in the series? Go, all of you.
It's not.
I played 14 online. Does that count?
Well, you know what? It might not be your favorite now, but it sure will be, because we just hit $100,000 for Final Fantasy VI.
Let's go.
And I'm excited about it. Because now we're going to get to watch that run, and I'm going to be able to actually interview you about Destiny 2.
Hey.
Right.
Oh, that's
I know way more about that.
Yeah, this is great. Okay, so let me actually start over here. Everybody take a deep breath. We're doing good. Destiny 2. This is probably one of the most ambitious runs that we have in this marathon, in any GDQ marathon we've ever done, because we do not have one person. We do not have two-person run. It's not a three-person run. It's not a four-person run. It's a six-person run. I don't know if we've done this outside of a relay before. A six-person co-op run. You mad lads, what does it take you to put together a six-person run? How do you even get the scheduling, the coordination for that?
I mean, we all just like happen to really like playing Destiny 2, and we all basically go to GDQ or watch GDQ constantly at home. We saw a bunch of top players in the Destiny community start spearrunning ourselves, and we're like, cool, let's just give it a shot ourselves. And then we just started doing it. We're like, hey, this is really fun. Let's just do it. And like, yeah, schedule coordination kind of sucks, but it's absolutely worth the payoff to get 6 people just to do this in, that much and that quickly.
And I want to go back to that because it's like Destiny 2 is an MMO, right? People are not used to hearing MMOs as speedruns. What exactly are you speedrunning here? And what are we going to be seeing today?
I can tackle that.
Yeah, go for it.
So Last Wish is it's a raid. MMOs have raids. This is essentially one of the biggest raids that Destiny has ever seen. It's one of the biggest raids that Bungie's ever made. And so we're basically just going to be running an MMO raid in rapid fire as fast as we can possibly go, or rather these guys can possibly go. I'm going to be talking about it. And yeah, just clearing bosses as fast as possible, highest damage weapons, killing ads as fast as possible. A couple tricks here and there to kind of spice things up, but otherwise it is just pure damage, pure chaos, just knowing exactly where ads spawn in at this time, how to manipulate this or that, and just going as fast as possible.
Yeah, so again, to ask the runners here a little bit more about it, I'm not somebody who's super familiar with MMOs myself, right? There are a lot of people who love Destiny 2 out there and other MMOs, but I do know that one of the biggest things is generally building a team comp around various character classes. Is that really important for the speedrunner? Have you found that, like, well, this one thing's just broken, so we use 6 of those?
Yeah, you can take that
Yeah,
one, Craig.
that's pretty much what we do. Warlock is the fastest class in the game. So a majority of the run is movement between encounters. So we just all play Warlocks to get through that as fast as possible.
So that actual battling is not something you're quite as worried about as just kind of getting between the encounters.
Most of the battling between all the classes is pretty similar. Everyone can use the same weapons. There's no really restrictive loadouts between the classes. It's just what abilities do they have, what's your super, things like that. The big thing is how long does it take to get from encounter 1 to encounter 2, from 2 to 3, and Warlock just has basically all the movement exploits that we could want to use in a speedrun.
Bungie really likes to have these platforming sections in between bosses. Normally in an MMO, in a raid, you'd have like a lot of trash mobs that you'd be killing in between bosses. Bungie's version of trash mobs are platforming sections, so that's what they're really going to be trying to minimize as much as humanly possible.
Well, that's super cool. I cannot wait to see it, but we are first, of course, have that Final Fantasy VI run. Thank you all so much for getting all those donations in. I also want to throw it over to Sent because a lot of you generously donated to get that to happen. And Sent, of course, always has prizes in mind that you could win. Maybe you didn't even know that you could be winning some prizes from all those donations. So Sent, what you got for me?
Knife. We're getting the Final Fantasy run, right? The goose has a knife.
I think we got it. I think we got it.
Okay, calm down, Goose. We got the Final Fantasy. We're good. We're good. Thank you, everyone, for helping us get Final Fantasy in the marathon and maybe get rid of Knife Goose. Guys, let's throw it back up to the front. Let's get hyped. We've almost hit $1 million. That's crazy. It's Thursday night. Let's make some noise. Final Fantasy VI by Nurum. We got it in there.
All right, you guys. I am very excited for what we have coming up next. I know you all hoped for it, wished for it, and now it is happening. I'm Yellow Killer Bee. I'm going to be hanging out with you, and coming up right now, you don't even have to wait. Are you guys ready for some Final Fantasy VI? I know I am, so take it away, Nir.